since I'm sitting here with Al1981X, um, yeah, I guess I will just ask you these questions.
Alles klar.
Yeah. Question number 1. You find a black fly in your Chardonnay. As you look for the waiter, you notice Alanis Morissette looking at your glass of wine. What do you say to her?
Oh. I take it that, ooh, the irony would just be too obvious. I don't know. I could call it something else that it isn't. How sardonic.
Okay. Alright, that works. Number 2. This is a more serious one. What made you start making videos on YouTube? Because I know you were viewing for a while before you started making videos.
Yeah, and then had the account for a short while before. Basically, it was a friend of mine. Believe it or not, I went through a phase of being fascinated by Richard Dawkins and his quest against religion. Not always entirely on his side, but very interested in him, and always I wanted to see anything that he did on television. And I started looking on YouTube videos, and when you see those, you see recommended and recommended, and I became aware of this debate and these communities on YouTube, or this community, I would actually say. I think there's kind of a theist and atheist combined community where the more reasonable people talk. And a friend of mine noticed that this was what I was doing. I was taking a lot of my time doing this, and he said, "It's time that you started doing what these people are doing." And he bought me a webcam. I don't know how expensive. This was Christmas before last. This was the Christmas of 2010, and I thought, well, I better use it a bit because someone spent money on me for Christmas. I was like, all right, well, I'll make a video and I'll see. And my first couple of videos were shit. They're not up anymore. Um, but I actually vowed to at least spend a year on YouTube. But it's weird though, because I was going to be a serious vlogger or serious atheist apologist, and I'm too lazy, so I tend to, instead of the 10-20 minute kind of lecture or whatever I carefully written and rehearsed, just who I thought I would be, I just did a 2-minute joke video, but it seems to work. So I basically am a piss artist who bluffs his way through.
Adorable. Yeah, then number 3. Have you ever seen a llama kiss a llama on the llama?
Not to the best of my recollection. I believe I have seen llamas. I think I've seen llamas, llamases, llama, yeah. I've seen them in Scotland. I think there's actually I think there are llamas that are native to Scotland. Did I make that up? I don't mean wild. I mean in fields. I've seen Scottish llama. I'm sure I have.
Yeah, Angus is one of them.
Yes.
Yes, Angus is a Scottish
definitely a
llama.
llama. Yeah.
If you could build your dream house, what rooms other than the standard bedroom, living room, etc. would you have in there?
It's a very good question. Well, assuming that money is limitless, I would of course have a swimming pool, my own bowling alley, my own cinema, my own cellar/distillery, and a massive room where you just throw things that you're not sure if you need and don't want to get rid of.
A hoarding room.
A hoarding room, a massive hoarding room.
Awesome.
I think there should be a kind of resident janitor for that room, though, to keep things neatly filed, just sort of so that you don't just go in there. So it's a very tidy room for very messy people. Also, could I combine the swimming pool and cinema?
Of course.
Always wanted that. So you would actually have inflatable things that you would float on with a little bit for your drink to rest on. So people are actually watching a film in a cinema, while floating, and there might be a boring bit of the film, so you just jump into the water, splash around a bit. And also, I wouldn't even have a bath or a shower, I'd just have a swimming pool. That would be, I would literally jump in the swimming pool every morning to wash myself.
Okay then. Interesting. What's your favorite musical character and why?
Ooh, that's very difficult. There's so many characters. Because if I like a musical, I tend to like lots of the characters. I'd have to categorize that. Characters I would play would be Jean Valjean, Phantom, Don Quixote, Sweeney Todd. Characters I'd play if I were a woman, definitely Eponine. I would be, if I'd been born female and with a very good singing talent, then my target, my ambition in life would be to play Eponine in some way, in some medium. And but then the thing is, I like bad characters or characters who are morally ambiguous. So while Jean Valjean's appealing, Javert is also appealing. So I understand both of those two men. And the way that I view morality and ethics, neither Jean Valjean nor Javert is wrong. You see what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And oh my! But then actually, Les Mis, I could also be Maris, or I can never say the name. And Enjolras, the leader of the rebels, very French name that I can't pronounce. I should learn to pronounce a name if I'm to blame him. Because I have that in me, you know. Like if I were in charge of Occupy, there'd be bodies now, and I don't mean on our side.
Yeah, yeah. Nice.
And with Sing, do you hear the people sing as we kill some cops? That's it.
Yes, yes, I'm all for that. Let's do that. If you could commit one single crime and get away with it, what would it be?
How are we defining one single crime? Because you could say that the Stalinist purges were a crime. You could say Jack the Ripper's killing spree was a crime. Or are we identifying it as just one?
The spree would be one crime. You
Okay.
could go
So if I burgle,
genocide all the way to stealing grandma's pocket.
burgling every house in this neighbourhood would be one.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, if you can do that, I could just go throughout the entire world killing everyone I think is a cunt. Which is probably about 3.5 billion.
Wow. You'd go killing. You're just as evil as me.
I'm just honest.
Yes, you are.
Just honest humans.
Yes. Wonderful. Okay. If you could meet another YouTuber of your choice, who would it be and why?
Wow, well I've met a few. So somebody I haven't met and probably won't in real life meet. I would love to have a drink with Skeptical Heretic. I think that would be a good night.
That would be a very drunk night.
Yes.
Yeah, which automatically qualifies.
We discussed it actually. We talked about going to Romania, where there's a town in Transylvania called Sighișoara, birthplace of Vlad the Impaler. And it's like a little square, and it's a party town in the mountains. Apart from that, in Romania, A, they've got some good beers, including dark beers that you would like. B, you can smoke inside the pubs. And fucking hell, the kind of stag night / wedding-y / honeymoony thing that we had in that town, it was like amazing. Apart from some rude staff, which I didn't expect in Romania, they're not very polite people. But apart from that, and the fact that I did some things with my brother-in-law's sister. But apart from, yeah.
Oh wow.
The night before the wedding.
I kind of want to know more about that, but that's for another video.
That got awkward.
Yeah, I can imagine.
She initiated it. She was also completely insane.
Oh, that fits.
Yeah. There is a lot more to that story. But there's maybe a limit to what I can say on camera. which I've already passed. But smoking inside, and actually, he knows some of the beers that I was talking about as well. The only trouble is getting there, because let me tell you, Bucharest is a shithole.
Okay.
And Romanian trains, you might as well be in fucking India, the state that Romanian trains are in. It's just, I actually wanted to go home, except that would be doing the whole thing again. It was horrible. I could pretty much have thrown myself off that train in Romania.
Wow.
Mm.
Okay. Question number 8, I guess.
Mm.
Donna or Amy?
Ooh. Right, okay. This is a Doctor Who question. Well, you see, I do love the force of Catherine Tate's personality. But I thought actually a lot of the time she was slightly too much for Doctor Who. That she was a bit too much her own thing. There are some stories like the one you've seen where she fits it perfectly. And the climax of that season it worked. There were some stories where it was kind of like Donna is Catherine Tate, so Donna is this big, loud character, and it sometimes got in the way. Whereas Amy, apart from the fact that Karen Gillan is also very, very good and gorgeous, smaller boobs than Catherine Tate, but apart from that, I think Amy is just in every way perfect. So it would have been harder if you'd said Amy or River.
Oh, that would be a no-go. You can't do that.
Yeah, that's far too difficult. Yeah.
Why is your cat named Nissa?
I think the name Nissa, which comes from real mythology and from fantasy fiction, whether it's an island or no, actually no, reality. There's a saint Nissa.
Hmm.
I don't know how much the spelling varies, but I think because of the mythological background, the name turns up. I'm thinking of Nissa of Traken, the 1980s Doctor Who companion, who accidentally released the Master. And in fact, he possessed her father's body, his mother. She was a sweet character, played by a lovely actress called Sarah Sutton. But also, the fantasy genre or horror you keep coming up with. Blade's girlfriend is called Nissa, for example. Same
Oh,
spelling.
really?
Yeah.
Oh, then.
Blade,
Yeah.
in Blade 2, he has a vampire girlfriend, and it's NYSSA.
Oh,
Same name.
okay.
Yeah.
I'll have to watch that at some point.
Mm-hmm.
We're already at question number 10.
Mm-hmm.
Planning ahead or being spontaneous? And why?
Oh, God. I swing between the two extremes, as you may have noticed.
Yeah.
I don't know, but my nature, despite how I come across on camera, I think is to be, well, as you know, I'm quite organised and fastidious, and I make lists, I make long lists and medium lists and short lists, and I'm always doing housework. Partly because I'm like a shark in the sense that I think if I stop, I die. You notice that I have to move.
Yes.
Yeah. But at the same time, I might be like, let's go and, well, whatever there is. It's odd how my imagination hasn't quite coded up. For some reason, I'm thinking of ice cream and food. Ice cream and food? Ice cream and food. Ice cream and cinema. If you go to Leicester Square, you can get really good ice cream and go to the cinema. Best cinema experiences are things like, if it's midnight. I like watching Alice in Wonderland. I saw in Leicester Square at midnight in what I'm sure was a cinema full of really stoned people. Brilliant. Also, I'm trying to think where the IMAX is. But these were spur of the moment things. Like when I saw Avatar, the first one I've been to the IMAX, and that was like, haven't seen Avatar yet. Let's go and see it at the IMAX, and that kind of, yeah. those things are a bit pedestrian. But I think there is sometimes the best time you can have is spontaneous. It's definitely hard to plan fun and get it right. There is such thing as getting fun right. I don't know. Anyway,
We have the bonus question, 11. You did not actually like your Smurf hat.
you actually do like my Smurf hat.
Yes, I actually do like your Smurf hat.
You normally tease me over it. Well, it's
It's a Smurf hat.
this kind of hat is very popular among young, trendy men in London, so I don't know why I'm wearing one. But well, now it almost looks like a beret.
No, it looks like a Smurf
That
hat.
should be a chef.
You're a Smurf. Smurf.
Or possibly Monsieur Thénardier. Excellent.
Yeah, I actually do like it.
And at no point, I have to make a request, at no point during that no, I never tried to ask a question. We planned this, I was going to try to ask you a question. You were going to say,
Ich stelle die Fragen.
that's the one. If anybody knows what that means, put it in the comment section, because you'll have got the joke. But you said it without the whip.
Yes, I did say it without the whip.
There's always next time.
Yes. Okay, well, I think that's it. Let's hit the stop button.
Ta-ta.